All right, we're back at saw repair again. If you remember this from way back when, the rope broke on it. And I'm pretty sure that this was a Chinesium replacement cover. So this time I went ahead and bought the actual factory part. And we're gonna try to put it together right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Brownstown IN. This here is the 180 Stihl chainsaw. It's got this dumb quick adjust thing, which I'm going to try to convert it over. I need to get the stuff, but I think I can do it to make it not that way. All I need to do is, I believe, get one stud and then get a chain cover or a clutch cover like off of a regular 180 or a 170, I think is the same one. And then order that little adjuster thing I got like in the other saw, and then there you have it. So that'll be a project for later, but for now, I want to get this swapped out so that maybe we can actually use this again. So, this being a good while since I've done this last, I can't remember everything that has to be done. It's pretty dirty in there again already. Although it's cut a lot of wood since since that time. I think that what I did was I did not take this loose other than just out of the way a little bit. And we got to take our two caps off so that it will clear. But other than that, I think it was a pretty straightforward, like three bolts or so to get it out of there. They are, of course, star bolts, so gonna have to deal with that. But let's see. Sure. Hard to do it and hold the camera at the same time, but I know I should get the tripod, but whatever. Okay. I think that's all I did there. And there's two here, there's one there, and I'm hoping that my socket will reach down in the recessed one and not be a problem, but we'll find that out in a minute. Let's see. Okay, sure. There we go. Will this one come out of there? See, that's what I was afraid of. That one is so far down in there. I was thinking I remembered that. Will it go? Come on, baby. Or is it something different? No, it's just full of trash. We might get it with this. Sure. It's loose. It's just not pulling up out of there. So, and I don't think I have a little magnet down here. That's something to add to my list of things to have in the basement toolbox. Would be telescoping magnet. But that is neither here nor there. Jeez, that's tight on there. Probably hadn't been off of there for a long time. And, oh, I need to take these all the way out for this procedure because they will not pass through the plastic of the thing. And I'm going to have to set you down because I'm going to have some help here. I have to have a screwdriver or something to tip that up. This is actually quite well designed because they do not fall out of there. So somebody did know what they were doing when they made that. Now, will this come off of here? Let's try that angle. Come on. Come on. Right. There's our screw. We'll need that. Also, we had better clean that out as best we can whilst we're here. And also, we need to get our little emblem off of here again, which I think just has four little pins. Okay. I'm going to spend a minute here and try to clean up some of this garbage. Because this is how the saw cools, you know? It has to blow air through all of these places. And if they are plugged up with trash, it's not going to do that thing. I think this is the one. I also put a new carburetor on it at one time. Can't remember. Seems right. Alright, I think that's good or enough for who it's for right now. Factory parts from Deutschland. Very nice. Or at the very least from South Carolina or wherever they do it in the USA here. Okay, there's that. Yeah, you fell apart there a minute, but that's okay. Just want to make sure we got our stuff the way it needs to be. That goes there. I think they're the same length, so I don't think that matters. Somebody was thinking at the German saw factory. Is it working? Well, our tools are fighting us. That's always nice when that takes place. Sure. Let's put these on before I forget and inevitably dump fuel and oil all over myself. Put the handle down. Works. Good. Let's clean up our emblem and put that on. Gotta have our little emblem. That's the third cover that's been on. This is the second oldest of the Stihl saws I have. The 170 came later. The 290 is the oldest one. This is actually the second 180 I've had. The first one Grandpa flat wore out, and then when he took it in to have it looked at, they said, let's just trade you a new one. So that's what happened. So, are we good there? I think we're good there. Okay. Will you go? Maybe? Alright. It appears that we're good. Does it have any fuel in it at all? A little bit. So in theory, it should run. It's just been a while. Let's see if it'll start. There we go, it's gonna run. Okay, cool. Pieces fell off. That's just the cover that covers up our trip apparatus for our chain clutch brake deal. What is that? Trash that was in there? So that's pretty good for not having run for a good while. I'm going to clean this up a little. We'll put the bar on. We'll take it out and do a few saws with it. It should be fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got a new carburetor and a fresh tune-up, and it hasn't really cut that much since all that. It's just amazing how much trash builds up in these. I mean, you don't realize it, but then every nook and cranny ends up with some. Alright, put that back on. But I'm definitely going to investigate into that, switching it over from this easy adjust system, because I'm just not a fan of that. And I'm actually missing on this thing, there's supposed to be a screw that holds it in to the bar. Somewhere along the line, I'm missing that. This is the saw, I think. He got the bar stuck in a tree and then just left it there and bought another bar. And then I got the bar stuck in another tree later on. So it's had a rough life of losing its bars. I need to get this the right way. Here, wait a minute. There. Alright. Once again, every time I look at something, I see stuff that needs cleaned. If you've never done this before, this is not my favorite setup, but it's supposed to be where it's just so much easier for like a homeowner, I guess. And it has one stud and then this big wheel, and the way it works then is this is your locking nut, which you got to get on there part way first. And then if you want the chain tighter, you roll this hand wheel, which turns that big wheel, which makes the bar push out tighter. Then when you get it, you lock it down. But see, it's harder to get it as tight as I'd like, and then it seems like it loosens up a lot easier. So that is what it is. Let me see if I can get it better. See, when you that's pretty good-ish. But yeah. And yes, this saw has the same bar now I put on that other one. It is the 3/8 bar with the, 3/8 pitch, 50 width chain. So it should be a screaming demon as far as cutting. Alright. We probably should put some fuel and oil in it, seeing as how it was pretty well empty. So enjoy our nice clean piece, because it won't be that way very much more. Seems like no matter what you do, you always fill a little bit. See, like there. It just splashed some out for absolutely no reason. It's cold enough today, could just about use the winter mix. Springtime and 40 degrees. Alright, now physically for comparison, you can see the 170 and the 180 are just practically identical. But like I said, this one has this easy start, which I bought so Grandpa wouldn't have to pull so hard. He couldn't handle the big saws anymore. So that was nice, but I'm just not a fan of that. That was always the thing that wasn't what we liked, but it worked nonetheless. And they have the same bar on them now, because that's what I switch them to. And I'm thinking that when this pole saw bar wears out, I might see about putting that bar on here too. And you're gonna say, why? Well, for nothing else, if it will fit, then one chain will fit all three things, and that's kind of handy to not have all kinds of different chains and stuff. You know what I'm saying. And I don't even remember how old this chain is on here. I was thinking it was fairly new-ish. It looks pretty sharp, so we'll see what happens. We'll fire it up and we'll try to saw up some of this stuff we just cut down here the other day when the tree fell on the power lines. Consequently, I think that's the saw, or the saw. That's one of the pieces. I did actually get the old blue home light running, and I made 2 cuts, and then it locked up again. So I've got more stuff, and we're going to take it totally apart and make it better. But we can finish what we started on that at least, you know? All right, pal. Look at that. One pull and it fires back up again. Probably needs to warm up a little Still cuts pretty good. Chain's a little bit dull, but that's really too big a piece for this dinky little saw. But nonetheless, it's back in action, and that's what we were after. Yeah. So another saw to use and love, I suppose. I did get more home lights running, so I'll make a video with those one day. Turns out, just like somebody said in the comments, and I noticed it editing too, on at least one of those, I forgot to flip the switch on. So that's why it didn't have any spark. Kind of dumb, but I was in a hurry and excited about it, so I wasn't paying attention. But you notice things when editing, and that was fine because I went back and double checked them, put new chains on all of them, and they have spark, and I've had them running. So we will definitely do some cutting with those in the future. So anyway, this is back in action, and we can, you know, have another thing to grab and use if we need. I typically, like with these two, if I keep a brand new chain on one, then I'll use the other one to do the little trimming stuff and things, because that's where you dull your chain. But anyway, that one had a new chain on it. I got another thing though I bought the other day that we're gonna try out in a separate video on its own to sharpen these chains, and I'll show you that then. But I'm impressed with it just in the theory of the way that it works, and I'll explain that in another video. But yeah, so there we go. Two saws, pretty equally matched, but that one is supposed to be less vibration and less strain on the user to start it, you know. It's just what you get used to. I gotta really watch though, because of the way that's made. Now I always, when I grab it, I pull too hard and I want to just practically rip it apart, and you don't have to do that. I mean, it is very, very easy pull by design. I don't know if I can just show you. You just barely, and I mean, it multiplies what you do. See? So, very little effort required. Of course, then you will throw your other saw down from the vibration, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know, I like saws, what am I gonna say? But I use them a ton, so some people probably don't. But unless you're a professional logger, you probably haven't cut more trees than I have. I don't know. I guess if you're older and you live the same kind of life that I did, maybe you have, but you know what I'm saying. Average Joe farmer doesn't cut nearly as many trees in this day and age. Used to, everybody heated their house with wood, so you know, everybody was doing the same stuff every day. But nowadays, this is kind of few and far between, so that's partially why I have so many saws, because I want to make sure that, you know, when I need them, I got plenty of stuff to get the job done. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.